Yeah.
We got Bonnie Godiva in the building.
Oh.
Talk about battle rap. We're going to talk about what's going on with battle rap. How do you feel about the state of battle rap? Because I know we was talking back then. We was talking about, like, for me, I felt like with the Low Deluxe battles and, you know, the Murda Mooks, numbers started going expensive. They went from like 10,000 to 50,000.
Yeah.
And then you stop seeing on YouTube and starts and then shout to Debo, Queen of the Ring. We spoke about that. Queen of the Ring disappeared. That was one of my favorite shows where it was just females battling, and sometimes y'all battle guys.
Right.
So let's.
Well, hold on. My man Tony Yayo, Talk of New York, said Queen of the Ring, man. What happened to it? Well, let's talk about it.
Big homie, big homie, big homie. The big homie, big homie show. Swoo. Hey, welcome to the big homie show. The big homie, the big homie, the big homie. The big homie, hey, welcome to the big homie show. Hey, the big homie, the big homie, the big homie. The big homie. With no further ado, I welcome Debo, your host. Like, comment, share, and subscribe before you go and tell a friend about the big homie show. Ay, the big homie, the big homie, the big homie, the big homie. Hey, welcome to the big homie show. Drop that Zaddy in the bed, boy. Ay, the big homie, the big homie, the big homie, the big homie. Hey, welcome to the big homie show.
Yo, what up, what up, what up? Yo, check this out, man. We're going to get right to it, man. Tony Yayo, Talk of New York. Hold on. Salute to my guy. You feel me? Listen, man. I'm a fan of G Unit's work. As y'all know, as a man, I'm not a fan of no man. We don't do those things. We don't glaze. But I am a fan of the work. You know, when you put in work, you got to admire it. You got to support it. You got to respect it. You know, so salute to Tony Yayo, man. Talk of New York, man. I always rock with Tony Yayo, man. I knew he was a battle rap fan since back then. You understand? But this right here, for him to say salute to Debo and stuff like that, and then for first and foremost, if he said the fall off or Queen Ring is out here, I don't take that as disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna get this here. Let me not, paint a picture you think I'm a paint. Get at Yayo. No, I'm not. I rock with Tony Yayo. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope to say, you know what I'm saying, that he rocks with your boy, Debo, man. Salute to Yayo again. Tony Yayo, Talk of New York, you ain't wrong, brother. You ain't wrong. I stopped doing Queen of the Ring for a hot minute now. But, I'm going to give you the reason as to why, because I'm pretty sure you as a fan of what we do at Queen of the Ring, you would like some answers and stuff. Well, here we go. First off, there's a thing called, there was a platform called Caffeine. I'm gonna go here. Now I'm not gonna go all the way back. I'm gonna go ahead and move forward. Caffeine had a lot of pros and cons. You know what I'm saying? What you just mentioned about with Low Deluxe, you know what I'm saying? Mother, where they was getting like, 10K and then they up their joint to 50K and all that. And, some battle rappers was well deserving of that. Some battle rappers put in work, and, enough to get something like that. Now, to get something like that, and if it's possible for a company to give you that, if the numbers are numbering, is a whole different story entirely. You get it? So with Caffeine, I merged it up with URL, because let's not get it messed up. You know what I'm saying? This was a real URL thing. Even though Caffeine came with the big bucks and all that, it was still URL partnering up with Caffeine. They were partners. It wasn't like Caffeine engulfed URL and URL engulfed Queen of the Ring. Nah. You know what I'm saying? It was partnerships on all fronts. You know what I'm saying? Even with Queen of the Ring and URL, we didn't work for them. Respect to Smack, Chico, Beasley, P, and KD, Nels, everybody over there. We didn't work for them. We worked with them. It was a partnership on all fronts. So a lot of bags was being given out. Bags. You know what I'm saying? Well-deserved bags too, because a lot of these MCs, from men to ladies, were putting in work. And if you're gonna get a lick, respectfully speaking, get it while you can. You know what I'm saying? Once I heard Caffeine came through, I called a couple of these ladies and I said, listen, this bag ain't gonna be here forever. You dig it? You get what you can while you can. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to be here forever. Now, caffeine came around in 2019, going into 2020, I believe. My dates be off sometimes, but, I'm just going to say that. It was around the COVID era where battle rap was shutting down. It was looking very bleak, very deserty for battle rap. Motherfuckers was phoning they was phoning they work in to the leagues and putting it on video, and nobody was in circumference of each other. They was just doing battles from their own home. That's how bad battle rap was looking due to COVID. And salute to my man Beasley. He found the way to make it happen to whereas you can enjoy battle rap the way you like to enjoy it, in front of an audience with everybody listening to the bars. It was a process, but they made it work. So when that era, it was looking good. Everybody was flying to Cali from New York or wherever you was coming from. Everybody flew to Cali, did the event, had a good old time and dipped off back to the next one next month or the month after. All right. So once caffeine started, going out the back door and dipping out and say, hey, this battle rap thing ain't what it's cracked up to be. We ain't making no money. We ain't doing it. I'm out of here. That's what caffeine was pretty much saying. It was back to regularly scheduled program, And some people couldn't come to grips with that. Some battle rappers like, nah, son, nah. I want my caffeine feed. Nah, son, I want my caffeine feed. Not for nothing. I'm going to give you a fun fact. This is real. A lot of these battle rappers don't even know how to negotiate money. You know what I'm saying? Beasley was just saying, yo, let's say, for example, this is not realistic, but I'm just saying, for example, if you was a 2,500 motherfucker, Beasley say, yo, we usually give you 2,500. We're going to give you 5,500 for this one. You know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't even say, no, I want 3,500. No, you'd be like, cool, I'll take it. A lot of battle rappers was like, I'll take that. Fuck it. So it really wasn't much negotiating, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple of events later where things was growing and caffeine and the bag was there for a couple of battle rappers. Yes, they'll probably, certain battle rappers would probably negotiate their price, which was cool. But I do digress. Let me get back to what I was saying. For Tony Yayo, my man, talking New York. After the caffeine era, I've experienced a couple of things where some women thought they were, in that same bag. When caffeine was out the door, they were still asking for them caffeine prices. You know what I'm saying? Some were, some weren't. We had to put everything on display. So, with battle rap was just pretty much dwindling down and stuff like that. When you do the numbers, one thing for sure is that this thing is a business. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of times, well, I do got to go back here, with Queen of the Ring. Before the caffeine era, we wasn't, superseding those phenomenal numbers and stuff like that. Some girls was getting paid before caffeine. Don't get it fucked up. You know what I'm saying? At Queen of the Ring, they was getting paid. They was getting there. That's why I was able to negotiate myself with URL and caffeine on the numbers for a particular people. For like an official or 40 bars or KCJ or, we can keep going, E Hard and so on and so forth. But, in a general scope of things, let's just say this: the fame and the notoriety has superseded the asking price, if you will. Where some women thought that, they fame when they walk the streets, people want to take pictures, talk to them, say, hi, how you doing, all this, hey, you the greatest, you my greatest woman battle rapper, XYZ, yada, yada, yada. They thought that notoriety could have them ask for like 10K. I need 15K for this battle, D-ball. I'm not trying to hit nothing. I ain't battle. Hey, shit, let me crunch them numbers. Hold on. Carry the one. Can't do it. Some people, when I have a conversation with, respectfully, it's embarrassing for myself to tell them they can't even get $500 through the door on their own name, which is crazy and it's bad. So I just want to shook the shame and not tell them that and just keep it moving and just not do nothing at all, if you will. Certain people I just wouldn't want to have conversations with because I felt like they was delusional on what their asking price is and whatnot. They think that they're what they're asking for is right on point, and it's not. You understand what I'm saying? So pretty much the appreciation and it was taken for granted. It would say like this. Whereas I would, how would you say, be in the red, I don't think they cared about that. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever conversations they had with said other battle rappers or other league owners or whomever, entourage and stuff like that, they would, gaslight them and tell them, hey, yo, you supposed to be getting this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? If Queen of the Ring don't give you that, you know what I'm saying? Don't fuck with them niggas. You know what I'm saying? And they would go about doing so. You know what I'm saying? Would be a detriment towards their career, because I'm pretty sure they couldn't get it anywhere else. And when they tried to get it anywhere else, they found out they couldn't get it anywhere else. Only place they could probably get that at was URL. And then when they tried that, URL would, pretty much bring them back to reality or just not book them at all. You understand what I'm saying? Well, to say this, women's battle rap was definitely at an all-time high. It was definitely respected when we was at our peak, right next to the men and stuff like that. Some people I may think I'm delusional when saying this. Some people probably will say Queen of the Ring was number 2 right next to URL. you feel me? We was so crazy with it. The momentum was so fire that's what it was and stuff like that. Now, you're gonna ask me, not say Tony Yayo, but there's people they're like, well, if your popularity and everything was that high and stuff, well, why we couldn't get the money and stuff? Listen, popularity doesn't always equate to the dollar. You understand? Whereas I could probably get 200 people in a building, 400 people in a building, depending on a certain name. If I would say, okay, let me put 40 bars on the card, she's going to generate a bunch of motherfuckers that's going to come in that building. Win, lose, or draw. You feel what I'm saying? Same thing with a jazz the rapper. You understand? A couture. I don't want to just go on and, and if I leave out names, people are going to feel away and stuff like that. But that's not what this is for. People understand that the names I've mentioned prior is self-explanatory, that'll happen. You understand? But I have to put a lengthy card together with some good quality names on there to make it an official, no pun intended, card. You know what I'm saying? Where, I would get an official, a Shuni, a Farrah, a E Hard, or like Dawn Lady. I could keep going. Norma Bates and Tia S and keep going. It's just, it is what it is. Out of random, long live Chrissy Yamaguchi, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Salute. I'm always gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? Beginning, middle, or end of any blog. Long live Chrissy Yamaguchi. So she was one of those too. So yeah, man. I believe if we've all stuck together in peaks and valleys, you know what I'm saying, with droughts and good days and bad days, we could have ironed this out. We could have been still around probably to this day, probably not in the grand scale, because it's not just us, it's battle rap completely. The culture is just, pretty much kind of in this valleys right now. Yeah, we'd have probably still, been around. And I'm not blaming nobody. It's just how things go. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my 2 partners, Veg and Babs. Salute to Mikey Raps. Salute to, my man Leo, Myers Lansky. That's the team, man. I got to salute them. Yeah, so I would say we're not around no more. I wouldn't say that we're not around no more. I would say when it's time, Mr. Yayo, we'll pull up. We'll pull up. It's just that I've enjoyed my downtime, not doing anything in battle rap. As you can see, I'm on this mic blogging right now. I do this every now and then, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna keep it 100 and not lie to you. Ever since I kind of fell back from battle rap, you know what I'm saying? My haven't been so savage. My brain power is more sharper. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, I'm not as aggressive as I once were when I was, just doing this battle rap shit. You know what I'm saying? I was just pretty much running down on a lot of people, doing a lot of things and stuff like that, just to get us to where we need to be. You know, if you know, a lot of people saw that. A lot of people said, yo, you know what I'm saying? Debo had to do what Debo had to do to make this Queen of the Ring thing pop and make it jump. You feel me? I was everywhere. I was the first league owner that was everywhere. At King of the Dot, at Grind Time, at URL. You know what I'm saying? Trap New York, I Battle League, Guerrilla Warfare. Shit, man, I was in LA. You know what I'm saying? LA Battlegrounds. If I remember, that was the name. Anyway, shit, man, I was all over the place. Black Ice Cartel. Like, I was all over the place. I was the first league owner being a representative for my brand and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Making a name for ourselves and shit like that. But that's just pretty much it, Mr. Yayo. That's the reason why. I appreciate that you love the battles. I appreciate that we was one of your favorite channels to watch on YouTube and whatnot, man. There's a library of slew of battles on there on the Queen of the Ring joint. You know what I'm saying? And just, you know, that shout out right there just, you know, probably helped a lot of the ladies and stuff like that. And a lot of people for this generation to go watch a gang of Queen of the Ring battles and stuff like that. So, you know, until the time when these ladies understand their value of who they are and who they were and stuff like that, and they'll understand the plight that, you know, me and my partners had to go through to make these things happen as far as like women's battle rap. You understand? Because women's battle rap and Queen of the Ring were synonymous with each other. You can't say one without the other. You feel me? I'm pretty sure, you know, I know there's female battle rap going on right now, but I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. They just gonna talk about Queen of the Ring because we did so many things. We broke so many barriers and leveled up and shit. When URL did Urban Plaza, we did Urban Plaza and packed the same motherfuckers in that shit. And that was in 2014 and whatnot. But at this time, this day, I am proud of each and every woman that came through those doors and been in the ring or on a stage or however we gave the platform to you. I'm proud of y'all. Y'all keep it going and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Don't let my explanation as to why, you know, these things ain't happening at Queen of the Ring no more deter you and stuff like that, man. We still did great, phenomenal work. Y'all did great, phenomenal work. And me and my partners did great, phenomenal work by putting the platform out there, promoting and marketing and bringing it to you. With that said, man, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It's the big homie. Act like you know me. And we out.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe before you go and tell a friend about the Big Homie Show. Ay, the big homie, the big homie, the big homie, the big homie. Hey, welcome to the Big Homie Show.